The Saddle Ridge Hoard, it's one of the largest treasure discoveries in American history. But what was the story behind the discovery? And where is it today? Hi everyone, welcome to this house. Today we are exploring the mysterious Saddle Ridge Hoard. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode. In 2003, the world was stunned when 4 California teenagers stumbled across a mysterious metal box hidden inside a plastic bag. The box was heavy and made of metal, but it was caked in dirt and grime from years of being buried underground. When they pried open the lid of the box, they were shocked by what they found inside. It was filled with thousands of old gold coins dating back all the way to the mid-1800s. This led to one of the most sensationalized treasure hunts in modern history, and the race was on to find out how many other boxes were buried nearby. But before we can get into all the details of this incredible discovery, let's talk about our sponsor. Hey guys, welcome to Stamps.com. I know a lot of you collectors out there are worried about rising postal rates, but Stamps.com has got you covered. They offer some of the lowest prices anywhere, and their new Every Little Bit Counts pricing model allows customers to pay less than 1 per stamp on average when buying 100 stamps or more online. Plus, it's easy to use. You simply pick up your stamps in any denomination and print them right from your home computer. They also have an easy-to-use address book, automated reminders, and a ton of other features. It's no wonder that 9 out of 10 small businesses who switched to Stamps.com never went back. Stamps.com is the way to go. And now back to our video. On June 7, 2003, 19-year-old Matt Sloat was walking around in a park near his home in California with his 2 friends. He wanted to show them a shortcut through the park that he had discovered while playing Frisbee a week earlier. The 3 teenagers began walking down a hill away from the main road. They had no idea that they were about to make history. As they continued down the slope, they saw something strange protruding from the ground. At first, they thought it might be a large animal of some kind, but as they got closer, they realized it was actually a metal box. It looked to be about the size of a large suitcase and was half buried in the soft soil. As the boys stood there examining the box, they noticed that it had a rusty padlock attached to it. It was clear that the box had been locked and buried here intentionally. Now, up until this point, the story could have ended pretty quickly. 2 of the 3 boys, Kyle and Nick, were uninterested in whatever was in the box and wanted to leave. But Matt was convinced that it was a Civil War time capsule and implored his friend Jake to stay and help him open it. The pair started digging at the dirt around the box with their bare hands, trying to figure out a way to pry it open. When their hands failed, they began kicking at the box, which eventually caused it to fall over, exposing a hole on its side. Matt and Jake crawled into the hole and pulled out the box. After several attempts, they finally managed to open the box. Inside was another smaller box wrapped in layers of plastic and duct tape. When Matt sliced open the plastic with a pair of scissors, he found himself staring at rows upon rows of shiny gold coins. It was obvious that this was no ordinary box. These were not the cheap novelty coins often sold to tourists. These were real U.S. minted gold coins. They were extremely valuable. Matt and Jake were overwhelmed with excitement and knew they had just stumbled onto something huge. They called their friend Kyle over to help them count the coins, and they soon discovered that there were approximately 10 pounds of 40% gold coins in the box. At this point, the boys were ecstatic, and you can bet that they spent a considerable amount of time arguing about how they were going to split the money. But their joy would soon turn into confusion and fear when they discovered something shocking about the coins. They were extremely old, minted between 1849 and 1893, a time when the United States was experiencing rapid growth and change. The California gold rush had begun only 12 years before the first of these coins was minted. And by 1893, the U.S. economy was rapidly industrializing. It's believed that the coins in the box were likely buried around 1893. But why? Who would bury almost 10 pounds of gold coins and then forget about them for over 100 years? Or maybe someone planned to come back for the box, but they never did. We may never know the true story behind the coins. The four teenagers kept their discovery a secret for nearly 2 weeks after finding it. During this time, they tried to figure out what to do next. Eventually, Matt told his father, who advised him to take the coins to a bank to get them appraised. On June, Matt brought the box to the director of the gold and silver pawn shop. Lewis was amazed by the quality and quantity of the coins and offered Matt $20,000 for the box. While this was a lot of money, Matt felt that the coins were worth much more than that, so he took them to an appraiser named Peter Tangen. Peter told Matt that the coins alone were probably worth about $60,000, but that didn't even include the value of the box itself, which was probably worth tens of thousands of dollars more. Matt could hardly believe his luck. He had just stumbled across what would become known as the Saddle Ridge Hoard, one of the largest treasure discoveries in American history. The hoard consisted of 10 boxes filled with over 28 pounds of mostly gold coins dating from 1849 to 1893. Also included in the mix were some silver and copper coins along with a gold ingot. All told, the hoard was worth approximately $2.6 million in gold value alone. Today, the coins are divided between the 4 teenagers who found them and the family of one of the teenagers who unfortunately passed away. The coins are still being sold off periodically, with the most recent sale occurring in January of 2023. Since the hoard was found on public land, the law states that the finders have to pay a 20% royalty fee to the government, meaning that the government currently owns about $520,000 worth of the coins. The rest of the coins are split evenly between the 4 friends, meaning that each one of them owns about $485,000 worth of coins. Unfortunately, none of the 4 teenagers were particularly wealthy at the time of the discovery, so most of them ended up selling their shares of the coins to fund their education and future endeavors. One of the most interesting aspects of the Saddle Ridge Hoard is that it raises a lot of questions about its origins. Who owned the coins and why were they buried in the first place? Sadly, we may never know the answer to this question. There are a few theories, though. Some believe that the coins were buried during the Great Depression as a way to protect them from bank failures. Others believe that they were stolen from a bank or mint. Still, others believe that they were simply lost and then forgotten about. While we may never know the truth, one thing is for sure: the Saddle Ridge Hoard is one of the most valuable collections of coins ever found, and it will continue to be a source of fascination for treasure hunters and coin collectors for years to come. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of This House. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.